My swing really started to pick up around probably like the 3 week mark where everything really started to click. I really noticed around probably like 2 weeks. Like the drills definitely were helping me to like hone in on not thinking about my swing as much.
I wish I had that when I was coming up and younger, man. What does that feel like?
Like to go from a place where my swing was like full of inconsistencies. I had moments, but it was just inconsistent. And once I found that like kind of like natural flow of my swing, like it just feels like better than ever. Like you can just consistently drive balls and like not really have to like worry too much when you're in the box. When you go up there and you're just like free swinging, it's just like the ball's like a beach ball.
All right, I'm here with Ethan. Absolute stud, by the way. Ethan, man, you've been with me for a month. Can you just tell people, your name, kind of where you play and your position?
My name is Ethan Ketterer. I'm from Philly area. I go to Eastern University. I play first base and outfield, and I've been in the program for a couple months now.
Where were you with your game before we started?
Before we started, my game was specifically hitting was very robotic and very focused on mechanics. So through this program has really helped me to just make my swing more natural and really lock in on like my approach to the plate rather than worrying about what each part of my body is doing and what it's supposed to be doing.
Love it, bro. And so, had you tried anything before we got together of being less robotic and a little bit more natural?
I've tried a little bit, but I feel like it was like just general stuff. Like it wasn't really tailored to me specifically. So it was just kind of like, trying to find a needle in a haystack and stuff on the internet that, I thought I would try, but never really clicked.
And so, what did you try as far as like you're like all of us, bro? We go to social media, but do you remember some things you tried that maybe you didn't like or didn't work?
Not specifically. It was just like general stuff. Once I got in the program and had like a variety of different types of drills that I could choose from and like work with and see what really worked, I feel like that helped a lot better than, just trying to find drills and, just going through a bunch of them.
Yeah, bro, I think that makes sense. I mean, that's one thing
Mhm.
with I feel like it's an epidemic. It's hard to know who to trust, and
Right.
everybody seems like an expert. Everyone's trying to help, but sometimes I think it's just too much information. So I think that makes
Right.
perfect sense. Well, bro, what was it that made you officially want to dive in and work with me? Was it a piece of content? What was it?
Yeah, it was just like your philosophy that I saw. I was very active on Instagram, a lot of different hitting people who have a lot of different philosophies. And I just saw that it was one of your videos you're just talking about like getting your natural swing to come out. And I feel like from where I was at that point, I was trying to do, like I said, there's too many things that I was trying to do. And I feel like at that point, like I just really wanted to find like my natural swing, and your appeal and like you really like pushing that really made me interested in your program and what you had to teach.
That's awesome. How quickly did you feel like you saw results?
Definitely within the first few weeks, I feel like I was picking up on it. The first few weeks of drills and different, water bag stuff really my swing really started to pick up around probably like the 3 week mark where everything really started to click. But I really noticed around probably like 2 weeks, like the drills definitely were helping me to like hone in on not thinking about my swing as much.
Which is key, right? So you tell me
Yes.
within
Yep.
2 weeks of working with me online, you started to see a change in your swing that was letting your natural swing start to come out. You could feel it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, how does that feel? Two weeks. Like I wish I had that when I was coming up and younger, man. What does that feel like?
It's great. Like to go from a place where it's like more my swing was like full of inconsistencies. I had moments, but it was just inconsistent. And once I found that like kind of like natural flow of my swing, like it just feels like better than ever. Like you can just consistently drive balls and like not really have to like worry too much when you're in the box about what your swing is. You just, focus on your approach, and then like you just take a free hack and you get a good backspin line drive and you're not worrying about mechanics. It's just different than, when you go up to the plate worrying about, oh, I have to do this and then I have to get my hips on time and all this stuff. When you go up there and you're just like free swinging, it's just like the ball's like a beach ball.
And I mean, what a good feeling. You get to trust like what you have, instead of
Hmm.
wondering
Yeah.
what you don't have. And
Yep.
by the way,
Yep.
dude, those last game swings you sent, scrimmages, whatever, those were elite, bro. Was there one drill or cue or anything that you feel like really started to change things for you?
It was kind of like, I guess mostly a cue. Like for me, like when I started, a big thing for me was like the push. Like I'd always like push my whole body forward. And so a big thing for me was just and also in the load too. Like I feel like like loading. I feel like there's one video. I don't remember if it was a call or a video of yours that I watched that said you almost like want to load instead of like squatting down to load. It's almost like you want to like load kind of like up into it. And so getting that feeling and then just kind of like riding that out and rotating rather than trying to just push everything forward really helped me for adjustability and like that path.
Yeah, and your swing resonated with me right away. I felt like I was watching myself, you know, it was like,
Hmm.
yeah. So I knew right away that I think we could be a good fit to work with each other. So I'm really happy that the results came. Let me ask you real quick, as far as had you taken lessons in the past, like in
I
person
have.
lessons?
Yeah, I did there's like a local baseball academy that I go to every winter
How
that
would
I
you
do lessons at.
sorry, I didn't mean, how would you
That's all right.
compare the in-person stuff with working with me remotely?
The in-person stuff, it definitely has its time and place, but I feel like when you're in person, you rely a lot on the coach for what they're seeing. And the coach talks about a lot about what they're seeing. And when you have a remote program, a lot of it's on you because you have to describe what you're feeling and what you're doing. So that kind of puts you in a place where you can kind of feel out what you need to do and then what your swing feels like rather than trying to have someone else tell you know what you're feeling or what you should be, what you should be doing. Because then you can kind of like use that to like help you to feel what's natural rather than, just having a coach tell you, okay, now do this just because of the way
Hmm.
it looks.
And so you feel like that was a good thing for you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And because I feel like some people would hear what you say and be like, "Well, this sounds a little intimidating. Like I'm all in on
Hmm.
my own." Where I do feel like you've got me in your back pocket. We do have this kind of
Hmm.
rapport back and forth.
Right.
I mean, overall, like, what was your experience with the program? Would you say?
With the program so far, it you have a wide variety of tools. We have, multiple, former pros in there, who can give you feedback if you're having some trouble. And then also you have the tools yourself that you can work with. So you try out these things and, if you're stuck on something, you can ask for, feedback or what other people think. And then you can use that for your own hitting and see how that, try some different stuff out.
One thing we talked about, or I've heard from you a couple of times that, wanting to unlock your natural swing. You feel like that natural swing has come out. And I know you've hit some doubles, I think maybe some backside doubles, or at least one. Walk me through, man. Anything like tangible that has stood out to you? Like, have you tracked exit velo, just your results in the game? Have they been different? Do you have any kind of tangible results that you've noticed?
Yeah, exit velo, I have not tried yet. I'm going to soon. But I do notice just by the eye tests, the balls are coming off the bat harder and more consistent backspin. Before I was out front on my front side and pushy, and I would either a top spin or knuckleball everything to the pull side. You flare stuff off to the right sometimes. But now, like I can get an inside pitch and backspin it off the left center field wall. And
How does
it
that
just,
feel?
oh, it's amazing, Instead of, hitting a ball and having it, top spin in front of the left fielder, those balls on a line are carrying over the left fielder's head.
Has that been a pretty big difference? That instead of the ball landing in front of the outfielder with that top spin or side spin, that now it feels like it just keeps going and going and going.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nice.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
excited to see the exit velo, what differences there are. And I can tell you for a fact it's up, but also your floor. Like when you miss hit balls, it's going to be 7 miles an hour harder
Yeah.
now.
Hmm.
Like you're just in totally different positions now than when you started. And I feel
Hmm.
like that push, that's something that you're going to have to keep working through. But man, it
Right.
looks really
Right.
good. I
Hmm.
think continuing the
Thank you.
tracer and everything else that we're going to do, it's been a
Yep.
pretty big shift.
There was one time I was doing BP on the field and I was like just taking some hacks and I hit one over the left field wall and then there was one that I hit off the end of the bat that hit on a line off the left center field wall. So that's when I knew that the swing was like really dialed in there because I can miss hit a ball and still hit it off the wall on a line.
It's big time, bro. That's why I feel like it's like which comes first, like unlock your natural swing or confidence. It's like for me, dude, go build your best swing. That way you can just
Yep.
trust what you got, trust your training, and just know you get to go play, which is the best thing ever. Instead of being so worried all the time, like
Oh
we
yeah.
always are. How about from the mental standpoint of baseball? Like, has anything shifted for you mentally?
Yeah, I guess mentally, just like you said, more confidence in my game. I'm not going out on the field as much and worrying about what is or isn't working. Just trusting that the work you've put in and that it will work out. And you don't have to like really focus. It's just kind of like freeing almost. Like you're just going out there and just playing rather than going out there and trying not to fail, I guess, almost.
Yeah, no, exactly, bro. Just good to go out and play. Like you were a little
Hmm.
kid again. That's why we do the
Yep.
wiffle bat and everything else, you know?
Oh yeah.
As far as the MLB guys that we bring on, like how valuable have those been for you?
It's always great. Obviously, you want to get, the guys who play at the highest level, learn, what their approaches are, what they did to get to that position, because taking what they've done and what they've learned from other greats that they've played with, it's very valuable information and really a different perspective of looking at the game.
Is there anything that you've taken from the MLB guys that you feel like has really resonated with you?
A lot of approach at the plate and preparation before the game. Really take your preparation seriously. Do everything with a purpose, and you don't just go out there and just start swinging the bat before a game. You warm up with a purpose, and approach your at bats with a purpose as well.
Love it, bro. Okay, so if there's any other athletes out there who they feel like their swing is robotic, pushy, they're trying things they see on Instagram, it's just not working out. What would you tell them when you feel like this would be a good fit for them?
I 100% think this would be a good fit. You can't just try everything on Instagram and like hope it works out, you need a little bit of direction. And I feel like this program gives you a good direction and a lot of options to find your natural swing. It's not just trying everything on Instagram until something clicks. There's a lot of drills and different stuff in this program and direction from former pros who know what they're doing and know what they're talking about to give you feedback to try to make your swing the best it can be.
Love it, bro. And so do you feel like you've made more progress here in a month and a half than you have potentially years before of trying things on your own or just taking in-person lessons?
Yeah, I think I would definitely say that. For years, I think I've been stuck with the push in my swing where I just kind of like everything was just pushed forward and then my shoulders are kind of like tilting back and then I'm just missing the ball. I feel like there's numerous times where I tried to fix that, but just nothing stuck. And then I go in games and continue seeing this on video and just not really having something to really figure it out. And once I got in this program, not even a month in is really when I started to feel the difference that something that I've been trying to figure out for 2.5 years.
So awesome, bro. Leave it up to
Hmm.
an online hitting coach to help really solve something you've been trying on your own for a long
Yep.
time, dude. I mean, that's why we
Yeah.
do it, bro. This is so awesome. So
Yep.
love you, dude. It's been so much fun to work with you. I can't wait to keep working with you. And
Same, same.
so really appreciate you taking the time to do this. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.